Welcome back to the Crochet Creative, my friends at yarnspirations.com. This is part 4 and the final part of the study of possibilities, the design by me. And thank you so much firstly for everybody that has been working through this pattern. Any mistakes have been picked up and this PDF is currently accurate. So it's great. So we have our own testers, but you know, those extra pair of eyes that we have that people are suggesting things has been awesome. So thank you so much for that. People were suggesting to change the Afghan size. I'm not gonna get into that. It is what it is, and you can decide to do what you need to do in order to change things if you don't like certain elements. If, for example, the final border has picots, some people really object to that. So if you don't want to do picot, don't worry about it. But I would suggest doing a final border. And the reason for it, it's been moving around on your lap, so the edging is probably getting a little bit haloed. So by doing the final edging at the very end, that has you a nice crisp look. So we're gonna be moving on in the tutorial, and we have the center hole to be filled in. And then we're gonna do the final. So we're gonna start on round number 18 and go right up to the end, and you're gonna have a little hole left over in the very middle which will close, and we also have a crochet diagram available to you. While I turn to the right page. So what we have here is, this is what it looks like. This is in the downloadable. If you want it to see the video information or the video description, you can have this. And what we're going to do is we're gonna pick up, and we finished on round number 17 where there was one stitch in each of the stitches, and we're gonna pick up on number 18. In number 18 all the way to the end, we're gonna have some really fancy footwork. You're gonna be changing some colors, and we're gonna be having a good time, right? Okay, so you'll still need your 6mm size J crochet hook, whatever yarn you decided to do, and we're gonna continue our journey. Let's go to the sample really quick and let's talk about where we are, because everything is now in a circle and everything repeats itself in an increment to get to the end. So here's my sample that we've been working on. This will be a complete circle. In your sample here I have a partial. So what I'm going to do is that I'm gonna show you what the repeating is to go all the way around your circle like we have been before. This, because it's getting close to the very end of this, is gonna get faster and faster, eliminating out stitches, having a really good time, at least we hope so, and we're gonna continue our journey. So let's pick up where you left off, and we're gonna start our journey. You no longer have to worry about your stitch markers on picking up these edges, because these are peaks and valleys, because the fact is you're working in a complete circle at this moment. So let's start round number 18 and let's begin the party. So let's begin. Create a slip knot. We're going to do a standing half double crochet in the back post. So you can choose any one, it really doesn't matter, but I would probably choose where you left off. And you want to put this into your hands, and you need to do a standing half double crochet in the back post. So you're going to just pinch this so it doesn't unravel, and yarn over, because if you don't pinch it, that'll just unspin itself. So then go into the back post of any one, and then yarn over, pull through, and push the 3 together, and then yarn over, pull through 3. And that was a standing half double crochet back post. I now need you to do a back post half double crochet around the next 7. So yarn over and going in the back, pull through all 3 loops. So that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Now let's talk about counting. We did 1 by itself plus 7. That is the number 8. So each one of the increments that go in the clock around this, there will always be 8 half double crochets in the back post. The next 2 back posts will be used as a half double crochet 2 together in the back post. So yarn over and go in the back post, pull through, and do not finish that stitch. We want to put it together with the next one. So yarn over, go into the next open one from the back, pull through, and then you'll have 5 loops. Yarn over, pull through all 5. So here's the counting for the remaining of round number 18. You'll have 8 half double crochets in the back post, and then you're gonna do a 2 together half double crochet in the back post using the next 2 stitches, and you're going to do that all the way around. So if you're doing this, the last 2 stitches before you started should be a 2 together half double crochet in the back post. So please do this all the way around and meet me back here, and we're going to be ending this color and moving on to the color D. In my case it'll be aqua, and I'll be right back in a moment. So please do this round. When you get back around on number 18, the counting should end up that the last two are gonna be used as a two together half double crochet if you're right. The stitch counts are on the pattern just in case you need that. So the last two will be used as a half double crochet, back post, and put those two together. And once you have that done, you are going to slip stitch to the top of the first standing half double crochet back post and then end this color. So we've already shown you how to do that before. So now we're gonna move on to the color D as in dog. In my case it'll be aqua as we begin round number 19. In round number 19 we're going to be creating these shells that will look like this. But what our secret is that we're going to start off and we're going to put in a single crochet in the first one and in the second, and then we're going to skip 2 stitches and then put 5 double crochets in the third one away, skipping 2 stitches, and then we're gonna put the next 2 together as a 2 together single crochet, and then that is our repeat then going all the way around. Let's start with round number. Okay, so let's begin. Had to let my cat out. You know, do you got pets like that where they literally wanna come in, you let them in, and then as soon as they're in for like 2 seconds they wanna go back out? So anyway, she was gonna be meowing at the studio until I let her back out. So I'm about to just redo number 19. Just make sure you don't do this. So the green is actually what we were just crocheting with, and because it goes backward because I used the back post, it was out of my way, so I used the pink, which is the wrong round number. So I gotta make sure I'm using the right thing. So I'm gonna leave this in the tutorial just in case you screw that up too, and we're going to start number 19. So when we start number 19, start with a standing single crochet into any stitch. It really doesn't matter. In the instructions I always give a point of view of where you should stick your hook, but you can decide. It usually doesn't matter too much. So you're going to start in any stitch with the standing single crochet, and then you are going to use another stitch for a single crochet. So here's the repeat pattern then going around. You're going to skip 2, and in the third one away you're gonna put 5 double crochets. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you're going to skip 2, but watch what we do. We're gonna skip 2. These next 2 after you skip those are gonna be a 2 together single crochet. So you're gonna put those stitches together, and so that allows you to eliminate a stitch so that we can continue to get smaller. So the repeat pattern going around is that the next 2 are going to be a single crochet each, and then you'll start off skipping 2, go to the third and put 5 double crochet in there. And then you'll skip 2 and then put the next 2 together for 2 single crochets, and then 2 single crochet 2 together, and then the next 2 will be on their own, and you'll continue to do that cycle all the way around. This is round number 19. So you're going to have your shell work. Remember you'll skip 2, and then in this case because it's a smaller sample I can't show you this, but so you'll have the last 2 stitches as a 2 together single crochet. Okay, so that's how you're gonna finish it, and that's just a matter of keeping with the cycle of how the stitches are decreasing. So that will be your last stitch, and then you're just going to join it like so, and that's pretty awesome, right? So we're gonna move on to round number 20 next. Before we start round number 20 we're going to end this color. I wasn't sure so I had to check. So we're gonna end this color and we're going to move on to the color B. And in my case what color will that be? That will be that will be sunflower next. And so this next stitch work is gonna be really fascinating. Probably might drive you crazy too. Who knows? You can leave me a comment how you feel. And we're going to start number 20 next. I'm gonna start number 20 right here because so I have more space to show you what to do, because it is getting more and more smaller. So this is going to have some spoke stitching. I came up with this concept here, and you can either like it or lump it. It's actually really neat. It's what really drives the character right at the end of the project. So you're going to start with a standing single crochet in the middle double crochet of one of these. Okay, so it's gonna be the middle. So let's just do one there. So pretend that one's full and goes all the way around. So the cat is back inside again. Here we go. So what we have to do to begin is that the next 2 that are left in that shell is going to be a single crochet each. And now we're going to begin and do this spoke stitch. So to do the spoke stitch, what we have to do is we have to count back, see to this one right here. That's what we're going to be concentrating on. So as we begin, we're going to yarn over, and it will just be a double crochet that creates the spoke stitch when we do it, and it's a 2 together stitch. So what I have to do is that I have to count down, and I have to count so that it can separate from each other so that it creates the spokes, right? So looking right where I am, I want to count to the 3rd stitch back. So just follow it straight on down and count to the 3rd stitch, and it'll be roughly around here somewhere. It'll be more obvious once you get here. Okay, and so I'm gonna wrap my hook, and I'm going to pull, go back about 3 stitches from the center point of where this comes down. And I want to yarn over and create a little bit of a longer loop, and then pull through 2 and hold. I then need you to count from this point here. We have to count in order to get ourselves to go forward. So if this was the one that we wanted to go back, I want to come down to the middle point, and I want to skip a certain amount of stitches in order to get there. So now that the first one's in, the next one is going to be, and if you look at the diagram, you can see that we're going to skip 2 stitches, and the next one will be right here. The goal is that this spoke stitch is kind of directly in the center of where these dip down. So this is a more accurate view. So you're gonna yarn over, and you'll skip 2, and you'll go to the 3rd right into the top of that one there. And once you have that done, you're going to yarn over and just pull through the 2, and it will look like that. I then need you to skip until you get to the next shell work. So you're gonna skip all this fun stuff in behind and just go right for the shells itself. The first one of the shell has to have an increase in this, and I know that sounds weird, but if you don't, then what happens is it decreases too fast, and then you're gonna have a pucker. So the first one of the shell is gonna have 2 single crochets in it, and then the remaining of the shell is all going to have 1 single crochet each. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now you're about to begin this process once all over again. And what I did is that I provided you some details to know how many stitches to skip from here to here so that you can keep the balance looking good. So from here, it's 7 stitches away. This is a slip stitch, so it's 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That is going to be your first spoke stitch to come down. Okay, you're gonna hold, and then you're going to skip 2 stitches, and then the 3rd one away is going to be the next one. And then you'll pull through. You can see this on the diagram. Okay. So then after that's done, you just come into your shell work just like you see, and it's like what I told you. The first one of the shell work has to have 2 single crochets, and then the remaining of the shell is all going to be 1 single crochet each. Okay, and so all you just have to do is keep repeating that cycle, and then you're gonna end up with a whole circle with these little spokey things hanging out of it, and it's really neat. So go all the way around, and when you get all the way around, you're going to finish at the one at the second so I guess if you looked at it from the shell, you're gonna finish at the second one because we started right in the middle. So don't forget that you need to put in your 2 single crochets in the beginning of each one of those shells. So hopefully that makes sense. And this was round number 20. So please do that, and I'll see you back around here in a moment. We're also going to finish this color for number 20. So when you're done all the way around, slip stitch, get rid of this color, and in 21 we're gonna go to the color G, and in my case it'll be the medium gray mix all over again. So let's try that again. Number 21. So in number 21 we're gonna start with the medium gray mix, and you'll start in the stitch that you finished off with. It can be any stitch, it doesn't really matter as long as you finish somewhere. So I'm just gonna move on over just somewhere else just so I have more space. This round, because I thought it was gonna increase or decrease too quickly, I gave you a break on this round, and so every stitch just join it with a standing single crochet, and so every stitch is just one single crochet, and you'll notice that it will help stabilize it. So it's just one single crochet in each stitch all the way around. Please do that, and I'll see you at the end of the round. Slip stitch it to the end, and then you're gonna break this color, and we'll start with the color A as we go into round number 22 next. So I'll see you back here at the end of the circle. So coming all the way around, well, pretending to at least, and so it's one single crochet in each. Just slip stitch it to the beginning, standing single crochet, and that'll be the end of the story. Get rid of this yarn, and we're going to move on then to round number 22 with the color A, and that case it'll be espresso for me, so it's a brownish color. Round number 22 is another decrease using single crochet, so you can start anywhere that you wish. So I need you to do the standing single crochet 2 together. So how you do that is that you just go into any stitch that you want to, and then just go in, and then just yarn over, pull through, and then just go into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, and you have 3 loops, pull through all 3, and that was a standing single crochet 2 together. The next 5 stitches will be one single crochet on its own. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and then you're gonna have your repeat again. So the next 2 are together, standing, or sorry, these are regular 2 together single crochets, and then you'll have 5 single crochets, and then you'll put 2 together, and etc. So please do this all the way around. This is round number 22. So I'm just coming up all the way around, pretending to at least, so you won't be joining yarn. So my goal here to show you is that because you started off with the single crochet 2 together, the last 5 single crochets will be on their own as you come up to the end. Okay, so make sure that you're watching for that, and make sure that you don't gain any stitches by the slip stitching indicating that there's more stitches than there truly is. Okay, so then that's it. Join it with the beginning, and then that will conclude then number 22. So we're going to begin number 23 using the color F as in Frank, and that will be grass green for me. And let's get rid of this color, and let's start on that next. In number 23 we're going to start off right here, and we're going to start off with a single crochet 2 together, so you can do that, and then you're going to put in one single crochet into the next. This here is going to be a treble that is going to do a front post around this section right here. Okay, that stitch. That will count as the stitch that it's sitting in front of. So then you'll have to then single crochet the next 2, put the next 2 together, one single crochet, and then drop on down. So the goal is when you start that you kind of want this to be lined up with each other, and if not it'll just cause a spiral look, and it's pretty awesome too, and you can decide what works for you. So let's do number 23. The way that I would look at this and where to start is that we know that this stitch probably is going to be the one that will loop into this. So if that's the case, then what you would want to do is kind of take that as your cue that that's the stitch that it's going to be coming down right here. So you'll single crochet in this, and then these 2 will be used as a 2 together. So you can start off there with a standing 2 together if you wish. If you don't want to do a standing 2 together, you can just attach it, chain 1, and put the 2 together like you would normally would, but I just find you might as well do it all in one step. So it's a 2 together single crochet. You're then going to single crochet the next, and then you're going to do a front post treble around this here. So to do that you're gonna wrap the hook twice, and you're just gonna come in behind that stitch. Okay, so you're coming around behind both posts, pull through, and then just pull through 2s all the way back to the top, and so that will link that row or round into this, which will create the spike, and so you have your spikes going off. So that counts as the stitch that it's sitting in front of. So to do the next ones, here we go, we're going to single crochet the next 2. Okay, so as you start another cycle, I'm just gonna tell you because I'm running out of stitches. So what this is that you're going to put the next 2 together, and then you're gonna have a single crochet in the next, and then you're going to do exactly this spike going down, and then that counts as the stitch that is sitting in front of, and then you're gonna put the next 2 single crochets in, and so that's where you're gonna end up being. So when I come around I'm gonna end up with the 2 single crochets that are after the spike that goes down. So hopefully that's of help to you. So this is round number 23. You can always refer to the diagram as well. So as you're coming around on number 23, you'll just keep the sequence going, and then after that one's in, that counts as a stitch that it's in front of, and so the last 2 stitches are going to be a single crochet each, and then you could just join it then to the beginning, single crochet 2 together to finish. This was number 23, and so you're gonna end the yarn and you see how they're now connected to each other. It's pretty great. So let's move on to number 24 using the color C as in cat, and that will be the color purple. The remaining of the rounds that we have left are now going to seriously just close this off. So there's no longer any fancy stitch work. We still have to do decreasing, but there's no more texturing. So if that helps you to know that, that's great. So you can start in any stitch that you wish, and you're going to just join it and attach it, and then chain 3 counts as your double crochet, and you're gonna double crochet in the next 2 stitches that are available to you. Then you're going to do a 2 together double crochet. So using the next 2 stitches, just put the 2 together. And so the sequence to go all the way around on this thing is that you'll have 3 double crochets in a row, and then single crochet 2 together, and I need you to do that all the way around because we are using double crochets. It's much taller, and you'll notice that the hole will come close pretty fast. So please do that all the way around. This is round number 24. If your stitch counts are right, the very last 2 stitches will be used as a 2 together double crochet, and once you have that done, you're just going to join it to the top of the chain 3 and end that. And this is the end of this color, number 20, round number 24. Round number 25 is doing the color G, and G in my case is medium gray mix once again. So let's start with round number 25 next. Let's begin number 25. We're going to be starting with the back post double crochet, okay, and with the standing one actually. So you're gonna just pick any post that you would like to pick, and you're just gonna attach it to the back of a post. So remember, you gotta hold that down so it doesn't unspin, and so it'll be the back post double crochet like that. So the next stitch right here is going to be a double crochet, and then the next 2 stitches that you have are going to be a double crochet 2 together. And so that completes your sequence. So the next one here will be a back post double crochet. The next one will be a double crochet, and then the next 2 will be used together as a 2 together double crochet. So you'll do this one, and if there was another one there I would just do that as well and get that done, and that's your sequence going all the way around for round number 25. And at the end of number 25 we're going to keep the color going, and that's it. So I'll see you at the end of this round. This is number 25. So if your math is right, when you come all the way around, the last 2 will be 2 together double crochet. I'm just joining new yarn, but the last will be a 2 together at the very end of the round, and then once you have those as a 2 together, you're just going to join it to the top of the first back post double crochet that you started with. So you're gonna keep this color going, so you might as well finish it with this color, and let's move on to the final round, number 26. In number 26, the chain 2 that we're about to start does not count as a stitch, and so you're gonna use the first stitch and the next stitch and put it together as a 2 together double crochet. And so you're gonna do that all the way around, and you're gonna notice it's gonna leave a very small hole that's gonna be in the center. So the next 2 stitches are 2 together double crochet, and continue to repeat that all the way around. And when you come all the way around, this is gonna be the end of the line for all of us, for the center point, and we're gonna have a small little hole, and we're gonna use that tail at the end to pull that hole closed, and then just secure it with a tapestry needle to hold it closed. So when you get all the way back around, you'll have 2 together at the end. You're just going to join it to the first 2 together, so ignore the chain 2, and then that's it. So what you have to do at this point is that you're gonna have a small hole that's left. Keep a little bit of a longer tail, and you're gonna use that tail, so just pull through, and you're gonna use that tail with a tapestry needle just to pull it up and just go all the way around the ring that you have left. So you're just gonna circle all the way around. You come all the way around and back to the other side. So if there was more stitches going around, you'll pull through, and then favor the back side of your blanket. So pull it shut Okay, so that will close the center of the hole. And then on the back side here, just kind of just do it in a way so that it just kind of ties itself shut. And then you're just gonna weave in your ends back and forth a total of 3 times. And do a nice job of it. I'm just kind of speeding along because we've already shown you how to weave in ends at the beginning of this whole series. Okay, so now that your center is done, we have the final border, and I applied the final border at the end as I talked about at the beginning of the tutorial, because this whole thing has been moving around on our lap, and so we have to come to the final border, and when it's been moving around in the lap it kind of looks a little halo-ish. So by doing a final border now, if you don't wish to do the picot you don't have to, but I would do something, and that's just kind of what I would do. So let's begin, and let's do our final border now. So we have the final border. You can see it's in red here with the picots, and you can see that when you're in the base of something like this, you're just going to be skipping over the 3 middle stitches so that that doesn't cause a buckle, and then you're just gonna be treating everything as you go along. So when you look at the top here, one of the stitches is going to the chain or going to the double crochet, the other one's going to the space, so everything is using sets of 2. If it doesn't work, then just, you know, make it work. And if you prefer not to do this, then just single crochet around just to, and just like what I'm showing you, I would want you to still skip the base here of those 3 to keep that in line. And if you're gonna do this, then at the top, then maybe put in 2 single crochets that in a chain space. Maybe I wouldn't do 3. 3 would be if it was a 90-degree angle. So that's what I would do, and so let me show you how to do it the way that this is showing here. So the way that I would start then is you go into, see the chain space, go into the double crochet before the space, and then you're gonna single crochet, and then you're gonna do a picot, and the picot is chain 3, and it will take you a while to get around, so don't rush it. And then to do that chain 3, you come into these 2 strands that you see, and you yarn over, pull through those strands and through that, and then you double crochet, or sorry, you single crochet into the next space that's available to you because it's a corner. So each one of these picots goes over 2 stitches. So to start the next one, go and single crochet the next stitch, then picot, chain 3, and then coming in and create the picot, pull through and through, and then single crochet the next. Just got to make sure that when you do that, that you are literally putting, you have literally 2 single crochets that are side by side before a picot. So if you single crochet there, you single crochet again in the next and restart. So chain 3, and then coming in, and then single crochet the next. So I'll cover what happens when you get to the base here, and this is how it looks, and then you'll have a nice beautiful border for your particular project. So I'm coming all the way through, and I'm coming on the down, so I have another picot to do here. Now here's the thing, if something is wrong, fake it. You are at the point that you are nearly done, and any kind of mistakes are really kind of harder to correct at this point. So you want to skip the 2 middle, so if you don't have that to skip, just fake it and do something. And then you want to still skip that. The goal is that when you start and skip that and start up the other side, that when this lays flat, it still stays flat. If you put too many stitches in there, what happens, it will buckle. Okay, and you're gonna come up. So if you lay this down, this should be, so you see how the picots kind of lean into each other? That's what you're looking for. So you're gonna go up all in the same manner. You'll turn just like you turned with doing this right at the very beginning, and that's all you need to do. And when you get back around, you can just slip stitch, you can fasten in your ends, and you can call this project quits. And I'd love to hear what you thought of this whole project. Was it too hard? Was it up your alley? Are you proud of yourself? Hopefully you are. And that's going to be it for this series. So I'm gonna leave that in your hands. I've shown you how to weave in your ends already, and this is the end of the study of possibilities. We'll see you again, and we'll let the cat out for the 3rd time in this video that I've only been filming for like an hour or so. We'll see you. Bye.